Manipulation rarely looks aggressive. It doesn't begin with control. It begins with subtle shifts, small psychological moves, tiny distortions of reality. And the reason it's so dangerous is because you rarely notice it while it's happening. There's no alarm, no clear warning, no obvious red flag. Just a slow change in how you think, react, and respond. And if you don't recognize those shifts early, you slowly lose control of the situation. Here are 7 signs someone may be manipulating you. 1. They twist your words. You say one thing, they reinterpret it into something else. You express a concern, they turn it into criticism. You ask a question, they turn it into an accusation. Suddenly, you're defending something you never meant. This tactic creates confusion, and confusion weakens confidence. Because when your words are constantly reframed, you start questioning how you speak. You start choosing your words carefully. You start filtering yourself, and eventually, you stop speaking freely at all. Manipulators reshape your words to control the narrative. And when they control the narrative, they control how others see you and how you see yourself. 2, they make you feel guilty for setting boundaries. You say no, calmly, respectfully, clearly. They respond with silence, disappointment, cold distance, passive aggression. They don't argue directly. They don't raise their voice. They simply change their energy. And suddenly, you feel like you did something wrong. This is emotional conditioning, not conflict, conditioning. Because over time, your brain learns something dangerous. Setting boundaries leads to discomfort, so you begin avoiding that discomfort. You start saying yes when you mean no. You start apologizing for protecting your time. You start explaining yourself when no explanation is required. And slowly, your limits disappear, not because you chose to remove them, but because you were trained to. 3, they play the victim. Every conflict becomes your fault. Every disagreement becomes their pain. Every issue becomes your responsibility to fix. Instead of addressing the problem, you end up comforting them. Instead of discussing behavior, you end up managing their emotions. Manipulators use vulnerability as a shield, not genuine vulnerability, strategic vulnerability. They redirect attention away from what they did and toward how they feel. And once sympathy replaces accountability, the power dynamic changes, because now you're no longer evaluating their actions. You're protecting their feelings. And that shift is exactly what they want. 4, they isolate you at first. It feels subtle. They question your friends. They criticize your family. They imply others don't understand you like they do. They plant small doubts, not obvious ones, quiet ones, seeds, and seeds grow. Slowly, your support system weakens, not because people leave you, but because your perception of them changes. You begin pulling away, you share less, you trust less, and eventually, their voice becomes the loudest voice in your world. Isolation increases dependency. Dependency increases influence, and influence creates control. 5, they gaslight you. You remember something clearly. They deny it happened. You point out a pattern. They say you're imagining things. You express discomfort. They say you're too sensitive. Over time, something subtle starts to happen. You stop trusting your memory. You stop trusting your reactions. You stop trusting your instincts. Gaslighting doesn't attack your reality directly. It destabilizes it slowly, because once your internal compass becomes unreliable, you look for direction somewhere else, and manipulators are always ready to provide it. That's the goal, not winning the argument, controlling your perception of reality. 6. They use intermittent reinforcement. One day they're warm, kind, attentive. The next day they're distant, cold, unavailable. There's no pattern, no explanation, no consistency, and that unpredictability creates attachment because your brain starts chasing the positive version of them, waiting for it, hoping for it, trying to earn it. This pattern is powerful. It's used in gambling systems, behavioral conditioning, addiction design, because inconsistent rewards create stronger attachment than consistent ones. Uncertainty keeps you engaged, and engagement keeps you connected, even when you shouldn't be. 7. They create urgency. Decide now. If you cared, you'd do it. This opportunity won't last. Urgency is a psychological weapon because pressure reduces critical thinking and speed blocks reflection. When you're rushed, you don't analyze, you react. Manipulators create urgency on purpose, not because something is urgent, but because your clarity is dangerous to them. The more time you have to think, the more likely you are to see the pattern. So they remove time, and when time disappears, so does perspective. When you feel rushed into emotional decisions, pause, because control is often hidden inside urgency. Manipulation is rarely loud. It's subtle, gradual, psychological, and the most dangerous part, it often feels like care, like concern, like protection, like understanding. But real care doesn't distort your reality. It doesn't punish your boundaries, it doesn't isolate you, and it doesn't make you doubt your own mind. Awareness is protection, because when you recognize the pattern, you break it. And when you break the pattern, control returns to you.